We're going to be talking about anxiety and fear, and when you're going out there, when you're trying to have any pursuit in life, you got self-doubt. You guys ever feel that? Do you guys ever feel self-doubt? You criticize yourself. You question whether you can even do it at all, and then you don't do it. Or you might be saying to yourself, what's the point? Nothing's going to come out of it anyways. Well, in this video, I'm going to be talking to you about some of these ideas and why and how you can get over them. And one of the reasons why is because it's normal. It's normal to feel this way. What is that? It's called cognitive dissonance. When you start trying to take new actions that are different than what your current beliefs are, or maybe you have some different beliefs where now you're trying to take new action and those beliefs don't align with your previous beliefs, then you have resistance to this. Your mind starts trying to, basically what it could be is holding you back, but it's not really holding you back. What it's trying to do is keep you safe. So anything that you feel is basically, we've evolved to have these emotions because they're there to protect us. And your mind doesn't care whether you're fulfilled in life, whether you reach your dreams. All your mind cares about is keeping you alive. And when you take new actions different than what you've been used to doing for the majority of your life, your mind goes, I don't know if this is safe. I don't know if you're going to, if when you take these new actions, when you're living your life differently than what you've already lived it like up until this point, your mind goes, well, how you've been doing things up until now has kept you alive. So if you start to take new action, your mind goes, wait a second. You got the revolving restaurant in the background. That's pretty cool, man. But what happens is your mind goes, wait a second, what you've been doing up until now has kept you alive. It's kept you safe. Let's not start trying to take some new actions. Let's not start trying to do something different and unfamiliar here. Wait a second. And then that's why you get those negative feelings. That's why you start to, it comes out, it's like unconscious. So then it comes out in a way where you start maybe making up excuses like, oh, I can't do this. Oh, and then the fear comes in or the anxiety comes in. So it's not that it's explicitly thinking about things in this way, but what's happening is that it comes out in these emotions that are trying to basically keep you the same. So you really have to, it's like building new habits. You have to just start taking new action and get through that sort of period where it's uncomfortable until you get to a point where not taking action actually becomes more painful. Tony Robbins talks about this, where you either want to equate pain, more pain to not taking action than to, okay, you're equating more pain to not taking action than to taking action. So then you have to take action, or else that's even more painful than not taking action. And then your behaviors change, and eventually you acclimate yourself to this, and then it just becomes normal. And then you actually start changing your, like, basically how you think about yourself, your self-concept. And you don't have to have an ego about this. That's another thing, is that I'm not coming out here thinking I'm so great with women, and then now that becomes my identity. But it's a skill like anything else. It's social skills. It's anything that you just do consistently, and again and again and again, you're going to get better at it. So you don't have to have an ego about it, but at the same time, when you look at others that maybe already have success in some area of life, you can also then understand that the only reason that they have that success is because they've just been doing that thing for a set period of time for a long period of time, and they've been taking consistent action. That's the only reason that's how you get good at anything. And if you've never actually built a skill in something, then you might not understand this, but you can also read about it in different books on mastery, and there's tons of studies out there and that talk about these different kinds of concepts, and you can actually start educating yourself on this and realize that there's a ton of science that backs these types of ideas. So don't get down on yourself. Don't start thinking that you're somehow different than anybody else, and just start getting out there and have a process and have a way to go about things. Learn from others. There's always someone that's maybe further along on the path than you are, and you can learn from them. Just like I did back when I was like 25, and I discovered that this was an area in which that I could improve. It's a skill like anything else. And again, bringing it back to that idea about not having an ego, right? I don't have to have an ego about it. I don't have to think that I'm any better than anybody else, or that anybody else is somehow they're more capable or have some sort of quality or ability more than myself. It's just, you look at it as, it's just who's taking more action. Can you be disciplined? Can you make sure that you're getting it in on a daily basis? Having some sort of a structure and a way to think about it. So then you just stick to that process, which somebody else can share with you who already has results, and they can say, this is how I did it, and then you can experiment with that. But even just something as simple as, can you go for the open? When you see a girl that you find attractive, can you just go for the open? Can you move things forward, and then can you take it to its full conclusion, where you ask for a phone number, maybe you try to go on some sort of offer to go on a date, an instant date right there in the moment, going for a coffee, going to a bar, some sort of venue. I mean, these kinds of things can happen if you're going out there and you're putting in enough time and you're taking enough action. But just like anything else, it takes massive action. You have to build up the muscle memory. You have to build up the skills that come with anything else. Repetition, mass amounts of repetition. And everybody's starting from a different place too. Not everybody's, maybe some people, this isn't even something they want to pursue. But if this is something that you want to pursue, if it's something like socializing or meeting women, building a skill in some way, whatever it may be, if you have that passion and you have that desire to do that, that's a significant part of it right there. I mean, if this is something you want to do, if this is something that you've decided, I'm going to dedicate my time to this, I'm going to dedicate my life to this, regardless of the result, whether I make it or not, I'm going to go for this. I'm going to take action. Then that's probably more than half the battle right there, because if you have that passion and you have that purpose and you have that desire, I mean, just that alone makes life worth living. You get up in the morning and you have something that you want to pursue. You have something that drives you and gets you up in the morning. That solves like probably 90% of your issues right there. People have depression. People don't know what they want to do in life. That's a sad thing. And if you have some sort of a purpose and you have something that you're passionate about, that you want to pursue, maybe it's something like this, like socializing and just getting out there and meeting women. What's more fun than that? It's human nature. It's a natural biological necessity. Socializing, getting out there, having fun, meeting people. What's more fun than that? I mean, for me, when I got into this, I was like 25, and I was coming from a place where I didn't think that this was something that was even, I didn't even think that this was something that you could develop. I didn't know about self-development. I didn't know about even framing things like looking at socializing as a skill. I didn't think about it like that. I was very much more at the effect of life. And I was probably somewhat depressed, felt like I didn't really have control over my reality. And what this teaches you is that you do have control. You do have the ability to affect your reality and get out there and make things happen for yourself. It's not just about being born with certain attributes and qualities and skills. These things are cultivated over time. And so even that right there, if you take on that belief that you can cultivate skills for yourself, that anything is developable, even something like socializing and connecting with people. Who would have thought that that was something that you could actually build like anything else? And when I was younger, I was like 12, I started skateboarding, and I knew that I wanted to become a professional skateboarder, and I dedicated probably more than a decade of my life to that pursuit. And in the end, I didn't reach that goal. I never actually became a professional skateboarder. But I learned a lot in that process, and you realize too that even from that pursuit, a lot of the same principles that it takes to develop a skill even in that area is transferable into any other area that you're going to pursue. For example, like I said, I was more at the effect of life. I didn't feel like I actually had control over things, but one thing I had was passion. I had passion, I had desire. I knew that this was something that I wanted to pursue. I had a goal in mind. I wanted to become a pro skater. So I just did it all the time. I just got out there and I just skateboarded every single day practically. I spent I spent hours and hours and hours in that pursuit. And that's why transferring over to dating skills, dating life, socializing, meeting friends, negotiations, whatever it might be, if you have a passion for that, if that's something that you want to do, right there, that's more than half the battle. So then you're going to actually be motivated and you're going to be driven to actually get out there and do the thing on a consistent basis, which is that's how you're going to build a skill. But then you can break it down even into smaller chunks. And there's so much more that you could do to even optimize the how you learn and that whole process there as well. Do you have a passion for something? If you have a passion for something, then go for it. Because you're actually lucky if you do have a passion. Finding a passion, having purpose in life. It's unfortunate that some people haven't found that for themselves, because that's probably why some people are depressed. I know for myself, sometimes I've sat around and when I wasn't actually pursuing something, when I didn't have something that I was driven to do on a daily basis, I would get down on myself. I'd start to become kind of depressed. But then when I actually have something that I want to wake up for, when I have goals, when you set goals for yourself and you have something that you're actually passionate about, and you have something that gets you up in the morning, just the pursuit alone can be so fulfilling. And on this channel, it's about dating. It's about meeting females, or maybe you're a girl wanting to meet guys, whatever it might be. But if that's what your thing is, sometimes just getting out to the bar, getting out to the club, going outside and just sparking up some conversations with people can feel so good, and that nothing even necessarily came from it. You didn't get a phone number. It's not like you're going to go home with every single woman that you talk to, but that's not the point. You have to start seeing the value in just the actions in itself, because the result you don't necessarily have control over. You can't control other people, but what you can control is your actions. But even then, developing self-control, self-discipline, all of these characteristics that it takes to actually develop a skill are things that are cultivated over time as well. So you're focusing on these traits and qualities and characteristics that are built over time, and that's what you focus on. You don't focus necessarily on the result. Of course, you're trying, the result is fun. You're trying to get maybe a specific outcome, but then you're also balancing it with freedom from outcome and not needing an outcome, and just enjoying the process of things. And that is just as fulfilling in itself. Sometimes that's even better. You know, people get addicted to things. They get addicted. I used to think maybe addiction was just alcohol and drugs, but you can be addicted to emotions. You can be addicted to junk food, processed foods, distraction, your phone, TV, media. All of these things can be addictions as well. So are you distracting yourself because you feel bad, or maybe you're bored? And then you just want to distract yourself and watch TV, but you're letting your whole life pass you by. You have so much more potential than maybe you even realize. You have to find what it is that you're passionate about, something that you want to strive for, set goals for yourself. We all have self-doubt. We all question whether it's possible to do a thing or not, but ultimately the result is less in your control than just the pursuit in itself. It's a privilege to even pursue something. It's a privilege to even just pursue a goal. So you can have gratitude even for that, the fact that you're even alive and you get to even make the attempt. You realize that opportunities are in abundance. Start switching your mentality to that abundance mentality, where you're not in scarcity thinking you have to hold on to the little things that you get. The rich get richer, the poor get poorer. That abundance mentality applies too when you're going out and talking to women. You don't need it to work with any one girl. Instead, you go and you find out, you make the attempt. You take the opportunities when they present themselves to you, because you realize that life isn't going to be forever and that opportunities aren't always going to be there, is one way of looking at it. But then on the other hand, don't be so needy or desperate for it to work with any one person or with any one opportunity that might come your way, because you then have that paradoxical mindset, belief, where you say to yourself, opportunities are abundant. I don't need it to work with any one person. And then you're willing to lose it. You're willing to lose the set. But then funny enough, sometimes that's when things actually work, is when you actually let go of the outcome. Art gallery. We got this thing here. Heart. Heart, baby. Heart. That's what you need. So everything's a process. Everything is a process. No matter what you are going to do, there's a process involved in everything, and you want to find a process for yourself. You want to have a process. You want to have a routine. You want to structure your life in a way where you can be living your life the way that you would live it, even if you achieved, let's say you had a goal in the future and maybe you achieved that thing in the future, maybe you don't. But you want to live your life now the way that you'd be living it even if you achieved that thing. Stop waiting to arrive. Imagine that you already arrived. Imagine that you're already living your life the way that you'd be living it in this future where you think you're going to be fulfilled, or this place where you think you're going to be happy once you reach there. Why not just start living your life now the way that you would be living it then? You're never going to be happy if you're always projecting yourself into the future thinking you'll be happy when. You have to be happy now. That brings it back to these different meditational practices, spirituality, where realize this is all we have right now. This is it. So then you're more likely to take those opportunities that present themselves, whether it's an attractive woman and you see her and there's something about her that you want to go and make the attempt, go do it, because you realize that there may never be another opportunity. Tomorrow isn't guaranteed. Now, it's likely that it's probably going to arrive. It's likely that you are hopefully going to live a very long life with lots of experiences and fulfillment. But on the other hand, realize that everything eventually will pass. Nothing is forever. So then make the attempt when it presents itself, because on one hand you realize opportunities are scarce and they're not always going to be there. But then you also play around with the other side where you're like, they're in abundance. I don't need it to work with any one person. You're willing to let it go. You're willing to make mistakes. You're willing to take risks. And so I've been doing this now, like I said, when I was 25. And that's when I sort of discovered, the self-development industry, and started reading more and started learning more about myself and my beliefs, and realizing that you could actually take action into so many other different areas of your life and improve yourself and improve the quality of your life. And you don't have to do this alone. Nobody should do it alone. You can't do it alone. There's no reason why you should have to reinvent the wheel, as they say. You can't. It took us this long to get to where we are in civilization because we built off of the experiences and the knowledge from the people before us. So if this is something that you want to take further, then seek out people that can help you, that can walk you through a process, that can show you a way. Like myself, people get on 30-minute strategy phone call. I offer that to anybody that wants to help themselves, anybody that sees the benefit and knows the benefit in learning from others, and as well, if you want to take things even further and speed up the process and have some external feedback from a guy that's already been doing this for over a decade, then I also offer one-on-one in-field trainings where we go out to bars, we go out to clubs, we have a great time. It's fun. And showing you a process and a system in a way in which that you can then take with you and just follow it as far as you'd like to go, as far as you'd like to take this. Some people just want to find a girlfriend. Maybe some people just want to get a husband or a wife, let's say. But that's up to you. But if you have a strategy and a process and a way and a direction to do that, then now all you got to do is put in the work. And if you have that passion and you have that desire, then there's no reason that you can't take it as far as anybody else. So if that sounds good to you, then hit me up at datingdestruction@gmail.com. And otherwise, if you made it this far, I'd appreciate it if you would like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll keep trying to bring you the best cutting edge information that I've acquired for myself over the last 12 years of going out there and doing my thing. And please leave a comment. I'd like to know if who actually is out there cold approaching, who's actually out there hitting up the bars, hitting up the clubs. How long have you been doing it? What kind of problems and what kind of challenges have come up for you? And then I'd love to make a video about it. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed, and until next time, peace.